Good morning, everybody. So I want to share out of the book of Revelations this morning. Or Revelation, sorry, Revelation. I'm going to be reading from chapter 21, verses 3 and 4. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, "Behold, the tabernacle of God is among men, and he will dwell among them, and they shall be his people. And God himself will be among them, and he will wipe every tear from their eyes. And there will no longer be any death. There will no longer be any mourning, or crying, or pain. The first things have passed away." So, for those who believe and are believers, if you're ever having a bad day, hold tight to this promise, to this universal truth that what's going to take place for us. The fact that in God's perfect timing, and when he set things back to perfection, like he intended it to be when he first created everything, we're going to be like Adam and Eve was before the fall. Everything's going to come to full circle. God is going to be walking among us. He will give us peace and comfort us once and for all, wipe away tears, take away all pain and suffering, because he's done away with all sin. He's done away with everything that was caused and created by the fall from Adam and Eve. We'll no longer have to suffer death or mourn those that we love. I mean, think about it. God is going to be with us, living with us. We'll be able to see God, talk to him face to face. He will touch our faces. We will get to feel God touch us, physically touch us. Because he's going to wipe every tear from our eyes. I mean, that's not a hope, folks. That's a promise. That's something to look forward to. And I did have a pretty rough day yesterday, so so this morning, perusing like I do, just trying to feel for something that reaches out to me. This right here, this is what I needed this morning from after the day I had yesterday. To be reminded of the promise and the fact and the assurity of the future of living with God, and that God's actually going to physically wipe the tears from my face and take away all my pain, all my suffering, all my crying, and all my mourning. He'll actually be face to face with me, and I can talk directly to him and he can talk directly to me. Of course, I'll be worshiping him directly. But that's something that I can hold on to in days of trouble, you know, and days of confusion, days of pain. Just hold on to those two verses and those promises of what will be. Because God always fulfills what He tells us. He always has, He always will. He cannot lie. He's perfect. He's holy. He is God. And He loves us that love Him. And He's going to live with us that believe in Him and believe in the Son, Jesus Christ, and believe in the gospel and say yes to the free salvation that Jesus offers us from His death on the cross. From the fact that He was sent of God, came on this earth by way of a Virgin Mary, by fulfilling the law, living a perfect sinless life because He is God on earth. Then, dying on that cross, that horrible, slow, painful death, blood dripping from His feet and His hands and His head, every precious drop of blood atoning for every sin ever made by every man and woman and child on this earth, past, present, and future. Then He went and defeated death, defeated the walls of Satan by raising up from the grave 3 days later. And the fact that not only did He raise and leave that grave, but a lot of times what is not mentioned is the fact that He stayed on earth for about 40 days after that, revealing Himself to the apostles, of course, but He also revealed Himself to other believers that weren't apostles. And then, of course, His ascension back to heaven, and where His 11 apostles watched Him go back to God. And knowing that He's up there sitting right next to God on His right hand side, watching over us, and He's waiting for God to let Him come get us all, and then in due time, God is going to form the new heaven, the new Jerusalem, the new earth, and completely wipe away all the terrible things that we have caused ever since the disobedience of Adam and Eve in the garden. And actually live with us. And then we get to commune with Him, just like Adam and Eve did before the fall. That is the hope, the promise that keeps me going. And it should be what keeps you going too. Love you guys. Have a blessed day. We'll see you tomorrow.